What's up, friends? Welcome to the Quick Talk Podcast. Josh here. It's Memorial Weekend. I'm about to go eat some hobo pies with my kids and some s'mores. If you don't know what that is, I don't know. Google it. It's really fun. But I'm super inspired right now, even though my tone, it might sound like quiet, right? I just watched this whole documentary on Michael Jordan because yesterday on Facebook, I made this post. Who would win a one-on-one game, LeBron James or Michael Jordan? I could care less about it. But it was interesting watching all the responses as people, passionately defended their thing, right? And then tonight I had a couple minutes and I was like researching more about Michael because I was born in 1981. And so I was like a young kid, but aware, and I watched Michael Jordan do all this crazy stuff, right? And so I'm like, what is the difference between someone like him and everybody else? And this is 100% applicable to you and your business. So what I got out of this documentary I watched for the last half hour was the mindset that he had. And, I get it because it's like a buzzword with business, like mindset, you got to have your mindset right and all this stuff, but it's absolutely true. And I heard this story. So, what's his name? Reggie Miller, okay, famous basketball player. When he was a rookie, he was playing a preseason game against Michael Jordan. And, preseason games are meaningless, right, in the NBA. And Michael was a veteran, and he was the man. He was Michael Jordan, right? So they play 4 or 5 minutes for the whole game, right? Well, Reggie goes out as a rookie, and rookies usually play the whole game. And so Reggie was scoring all these points. He scored like 12 points in the first quarter. And then his coach, Reggie Miller's coach, was telling him, hey, you need to like trash talk Michael. Like, you need to like get some respect. You need to establish yourself. You need to like let him know that you're here. You're in the league. Like, you're going to dominate. You're awesome, right? And Reggie Miller was the one telling this story. It was really, really funny. I saw it on YouTube, and Reggie Miller was like, he was kind of freaked out to do it, but he's like, all right. So he starts like trash talking Michael Jordan, who's not even really trying. He's just going through the motions because it's a preseason game. Doesn't matter. Michael had 2 points. Reggie had 12 points, right? And Michael was about to go out of the game because he only plays a few minutes in the first quarter, and then that's it, right? Excuse me. Still sick. So Michael Jackson, as soon as Reggie Miller talks trash to him, looks over at the bench and tells his coach, leave me in. Okay? This is so epic and legendary because this game meant nothing in the grand scheme of anything, right? But Michael Jordan was such a heavy competitor and was so aggressive in like defending his honor. I don't know, right? But he tells his coach to leave me in, and then Reggie Miller was like, oh, crap, right? So after the first half, Reggie Miller said that he still had 12 points, or after the first half, he still had 12 points, and Jordan had scored like 32 points or something like that. The point is this, like, there are parallels with sports and business that are undeniable. And when I work with a lot of small companies like you guys, one thing that is a common reoccurring theme, and something that I've slipped into myself, is that we slip into this passive modality of like being the nice guy. We think that because we're a nice guy, that we deserve to win, right? Oh, I'm a super nice person. I love my kids. I'm loyal to my wife. Like, I'm this nice person. Like, the universe owes me something. Or if you're a Christian, it's even worse. I see people all the time that put a Christian fish on their business card, and they somehow believe that entitles them to have a successful business, or it means something, right? Well, I reject that entire idea. You have to actually be better. You have to actually compete and win in the marketplace. If you look at sports, like if you're a super nice guy and you're really funny and everybody likes you, but you don't go deep on your sport, you're not even going to stay in the league. Like, none of that matters. So, like, just to make sure I'm clear, there's your personal world, and then there's business, the marketplace. They're separate things. They're intertwined because you're operating in both places. And in your normal life, who you are as a human, yes, you should be a nice person. You should do the right thing when no one is looking in both, scenarios. And like, I'm not talking about morality, so I don't want you to like misconstrue what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you have to actually be better. You have to level up. There's no shortcut. You don't get brownie points because you're a nice person. Nobody cares. The market doesn't care. The market votes with their wallet. And when I had my cleaning company, when we were in major growth mode, I had like this killer mindset, and this might sound so cheesy, right? Like, oh, Josh, you had a killer mindset with a cleaning company. I literally did. My goal was to become a nightmare to compete with. Now, at the same time, I invited all my local competitors out to lunch. I would pay for the lunch. I wanted to know them. Like, I cared about them as a human. When it came to business, I wanted to win. There was no exceptions, no excuses. I would outperform them at every step of the game. And that's the same mentality that I had with my software company for a long time. But after we started doing, $100,000 a month, and then $200,000 a month, and $250,000 a month, and we're having like this growth, I start to slip into like this weird, like, well, I just want to be a nice guy. Like, I don't know what it is. I think like when you set a goal and you hit the goal, what happens is you get complacent or you feel bad for achieving an even bigger goal, or at least it takes a minute for you to recalibrate what that goal should be. Hopefully this rant makes sense, but in an effort to recalibrate your goal, there's this downtime. And it's a downtime where you're contemplating, like, who am I? What am I doing? What's the direction of my company? What am I capable of? How much is too much? How do I get to the next level? And during that time, you start to get passive. And so you'll slip into this like passive mode. And it's kind of like an athlete who maybe they weren't even sure they'd make it in the league. And then they do, and then they get rookie of the year. And then they're like, oh my God, like I achieved more than I thought I could in the first place. So now what? And what do I do now? And it's a tricky thing to figure out. So I guess my encouragement to you is to make sure that you maintain an aggressive, competitive, killer mindset with your business. And that might sound harsh, but it's the truth. I'm a fighter. You're a fighter. You're allowed to be a nice guy. You should be a nice guy. But when it comes to dominating in your local market, when it comes to competition with a small business, you either win or you lose. You either punch people in the mouth, metaphorically, through competitive channels with your business, or you don't, or you get punched in the mouth. And people are super passive. It's not that hard to beat the people that you're competitive with locally. It's not. They're asleep at the wheel. They're passive. They're weak. They're not aware of stuff like this. They don't think of things like this. And the mindset that you have while you are operating as a CEO is a ginormous, huge component of that. So that's my encouragement for you. I'm going to go eat some s'mores and some hobo pies with my kids. Maverick just walked up, and maybe that's where my train of thought got messed up. Maverick, want to say hi to Quick Talk?
Hello, Quick Talk Podcast.
He's pounding the water because he's been working hard. And by working hard, I mean playing hard and running all over the place. We went to Lake Michigan today. Do you want to say something before I hang up?
Yeah, today was really fun, and our dad is so close to achieving his goal and making our life amazing, and it already is. Hopefully you can achieve your goal in the future.
Wow, that was actually really cool. Totally unscripted. Your check is in the mail, Mav. I'll give you $20 for your epic answer. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think like in some ways I've achieved more than I ever thought I would originally, and so that's kind of what I'm battling. We paid cash for our dream house. We have lots of resources, and we're so set, and we're in such a good spot with what we have, and not even counting our current company. It's an overwhelming weird feeling. And so for me, it's like, okay, how do I set the bar higher? How do I feel comfortable at the level that we're at in a way where I don't have to be passive? I'm allowed to go back into hunger, fight, claw, and dig and grind mode. How can I get to that mindset and aggressiveness without feeling weird about what we've already achieved in the first place? So that's me personally. Maybe you feel that too. But in any event, I love you all. Take care, and God bless.